What is up, guys? Eddie here, bringing you a brand new video, and today it's going to be a round one from our locals this past weekend. We had a nice little four-person round robin locals, a little bit of a smaller turnout for our locals than usual, but today you have myself on the left playing Armor and my friend on the right playing Jesmon X Antibody. So no GX in this Jesmon build, just straight pure X Antibody. And my opponent on the right is going to start by evoing into all the way up into a Battle Huck, and I'm going to evo into a Vmon and then proceed to choke my opponent at 1 with the blue memory boost. Aside from needing armors in my hand, I also know that the matchup is going to be I need to choke my opponent out as much as possible to just limit their plays here, and that's exactly what I'm doing. My opponent evos into the Savior Huckmon, puts me at 2, and then I evo into the Lydramon and swing the security. The Lydramon does go down in security, which is fine because I get to draw off the Vmon anyways. That's what I wanted, and I get to pop the memory boost and put my opponent back at 1 by evoing into the Magnamon. Magnamon's effect, unsuspending himself, and he does go back up to 9k. Here my opponent evos into the Blitz Jesmon from the trial deck and proceeds to proc Blitz, and he uses the Huckmon from BT6, I believe, or BT7, one of those two sets, to check top 5 for a Sistermon, and unfortunately he does find all of his rookies here. And now he gets to use the Jesmon effect to play a Sistermon from hand, as well as the Savior Huck Inheritable, but he doesn't have a second Sistermon, so that's really unfortunate for him. I hit a Davis here, unfortunately whiffing my Davis, which is fine by me. I hatch into Upamon here, and I believe I don't have a rookie in hand, or I do. I think I see a rookie in my hand. I don't exactly remember, but I have the EX1 Vmon in hand, and then I swing with the Magnamon. It does go down, and I believe here I evo into another Magna. Yeah, I evo into another Magnamon here. And then my line of play here is I can take out the Jesmon because the Magnamon has plus 4k. If I slot X Antibody under the Magnamon, I can swing into it and evo into Magna X and it'll be bigger, but I forget that the Sistermon has blocker, which is a big blunder on my part. I forgot. He forgore that this card has that this deck actually has blockers. So passing 4 memory to my opponent is not ideal, especially with Jesmon, where they can capitalize on that 4 memory to evo another line in the back or search out their pieces. Here he was looking for, the Jesmon player was looking for another Sistermon, which he did find, because as you saw last turn, he didn't exactly have any Sistermons in hand to play. I drop a card there because I'm a klutz, and he does opt to swing into my Magna with his Jesmon here, and he uses the Huckmon's effect to add the Sistermon. He found a Sistermon this time, and now he's going to be using both the Jesmon effect and the Savior Huck Inheritable to play a sister. So he's going to play the Seal, giving himself 1 memory for free, and then with the Savior Huck effect, I believe he's going to play the blocker Sistermon because he does need the blocker here, because my armors are going to come in hot next turn, just going straight for face if he doesn't. And he still has that 2 memory here, so I don't exactly remember what he does. Yes, he starts evoing another line in the back, which, like I said, giving 4 memory to a Jesmon player is definitely not the correct play. Just because they get to evo another line in the back. I do unsuspend and I push out the Vmon here, and I have an option here. I can evo into Lydramon or Flamedramon, and I decide Lydramon so I can suspend the blocker Sistermon, and I swing into the blocker Sistermon. He does block with the Sistermon Seal, I believe. Give him a second. Yeah, there he is. He blocks with the Sistermon Seal here, taking out my Lydramon, but it accomplishes the same thing. I just want to get rid of both Sistermons because I don't want him having 2 level 4s at any point on the board, because I know he does play Chimeramon, and I also don't I want him to keep having to recur his Sistermons as well. That way I don't have to deal with more than just one sister. That way I don't have to deal with more than 2 Sistermons at a time here. So he's going to swing into my Magna here. So he's going to swing into my Magna here with the Jesmon, using the Huckmon and the Huckmon Inheritable to add 2 sisters this time. So this time this card did double hit. It is not a myth. This card hits more than once. And then he's going to be using his Jesmon effect to play the Sistermon Seal from hand, and then he's going to be using the Savior Huck effect to play the new Sistermon CL from BT10 to evo into Jesmon X Antibody. He goes into Jesmon X Antibody, which allows him to play another sister, and he decides to play Sistermon Blanc Awakened here, and he shoves in the Sistermon Blanc for the TD, and he does get to recover 1, which is pretty unfortunate for me. because now he's back up to 4. And Armor's typically a deck that just wants to end the game as fast as possible or stall the game out until I draw Death Exmon. If you guys saw a quick fan at my hand there, I don't have Death Exmon. And I haven't taken the opportunity to evo into Magna, to another Magna X either, because I just haven't had the chance to. But he does go into the Jesmon here, and he evos into another TD Jesmon and chooses to swing into... I believe he swings over my Vmon here. Yeah, he swings over my Vmon here. And then he gets to activate both his inheritables of the Savior Hook and the Jesmon, and he plays another Sistermon blocker, and he plays the Sistermon Seal, evoing into another Jesmon here. And he plays a Seal here. And I don't remember what popped the Magna. I actually don't remember what had popped the Magna here. I believe he... Oh, I know. He swung into the... So, what happened here was that he had the Bow Huck from BT5, or yeah, BT5 in the source. He popped my suspended Vmon. He swung with Jesmon into the Magna, and then, yeah, I don't actually remember. I actually don't know what popped my, yeah, I actually don't know what popped my Vmon here. I'm gonna go look back at that, and I'm gonna edit that in the video. So going into my turn, I do lose my board here, and I am in pretty dire straits here. I don't have Death Exmon, which would be a perfect answer, probably almost perfect answer into this board. Almost perfect answer into this board, and unfortunately I can't sustain all these attacks here, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows where this goes, where Jesmon just once he gets his board going and you don't have enough security to survive the 35 million Sistermons on the field, you just die. So yeah, that's an unfortunate part here. So moving on to game number dos. Moving on to game 2, I do choose to opt him to go first. Showing my hand there is a total brick other than just Davis, and Davis is going to be the lad that has to get me there. But I do like letting my opponent go first whenever I'm playing against Jesmon, because well, you want to be able to try and choke them out as much as possible, so they're not sitting here and building as much advantage on you. So here I open my promo pack. I completely nicked the entire corner of that Salamon. Rest in peace, Salamon. You were expensive at some point. I play the Davis here to get to just dig for a rookie, and I find my Vmon and my Lydramon, and I get to add both. So I am now going and choking my opponent at 1 memory, so he can't do much. He swings with this Huckmon. It does get deleted, and then he activates another Huck, plays another Huckmon, and just grabs a Bow Huck. He grabs a Bow Huck and a Sistermon here, and I believe he was missing his level 5, if I remember correctly. So my turn passes around, I do evo into the Lydramon for 1, and then I play a Davis Ken and put him to 3, because I figured he can't get up all the way into his Jesmon here, so it's safe to give him 3 memory, because he would need to pay 5 memory to be able to get up into his Jesmon. He was in the back and raising. I believe he drew that Savior Huck there. And then I go to 5 memory because of Davis Ken being such a powerful card. My Lydramon does go down, and then I believe I evo into the Magnamon here for technically 2, because the EX1 Vmon unsuspend, gain a memory. It's pretty nice. So here I'm just thinking on how I want to effectively choke him, because I believe the unsuspending giving me a memory did kind of bone me a little bit. But not that it matters, because if I had just played a rookie down, if he didn't unsuspend and I didn't get a memory, and I just evo into a different armor, I played a rookie down, he would have been at 1. He could push out the Savior Hook, evo into the Jesmon, swing, and then pop my rookie with the Bow Huck anyways. So it was more optimal to just evo into. It was more optimal to just evo into into slam a rookie and just evo into Lydra here, give him 2 memory, because his play is still the same. He gets to just evo into Blitz and then swing. And my memory is just set to 3 anyways because of the Davis here. Then he chooses to activate his Jesmon's effect to play a Sistermon from his hand. I don't remember what Sistermon he plays. I believe he plays Blocker Sistermon here. Yeah, it looks like he's hovering over that blocker, between the blocker and the filter Sistermon here. Playing any Sistermon CL here wouldn't be as optimal, because you just want Jesmon GX during you would just want Jesmon X during your main phase, for the most part, unless you have the other Sistermon CL. But this Sistermon CL here doesn't really do much, because I'm still just going to 3. I'm still just going to 3 anyways. It does live, and then I end up going to 5 because of Davis and Ken after my main phase. So my hand is not looking that too fancy. And then he does forget his bow hook inheritable here to pop my Lightramon, because Lightramon is 5k DP, which matters a little bit or a lot, because it's the difference between 1 and 2, between 4 and 5 memory, is I get to play a Megadeth for free for 5 memory. Well, for free, but I play a Megadeth and I don't pass turn. I swing with the Magnamon here, and I do give him a memory boost in security. And I was thinking about swinging with the Lightramon, but I needed... actually, I believe it didn't matter if I swung with the Lightramon. I had the Davis Ken out anyways, but I don't know why I was debating on not swinging with the Lightramon here. But I do evo into a Magna X here and give him 4 memory, which again, not really that optimal. I used Davis Ken to unsuspend, and I gave him memory back to give him 3 memory, and he's gonna have 5. But I figure here that the only way that he can actually go into a Jesmon is to play down a level 4, specifically another Sistermon CL, and then Jogus into Chimeramon. But since he did hit that memory boost, he can go to 5, and he can play any Bow Hook here and then go into Chimeramon that way, which is exactly what he is going to which is exactly what he's gonna do here, which is unfortunate. If he hadn't hit that memory boost and he didn't have another Sistermon CL, he wasn't gonna be able to go into the Chimeramon and basically just nuke my rookie, as well as going all the way up into his line here. You can see, I believe he shoves the Savior Hook in, that way he can have his inheritable to play a second Sistermon during the battle phase. And then he goes into the Blitz Jesmon here. Yeah, he does go into the Blitz Jesmon. And he does swing with Blitz. He gets both of his effects, so he gets the inheritable for Bow Hook, and he gets for Savior Hook, and then he gets the Jesmon effect here. So I believe he's activating Jesmon here. Yeah, this would be Jesmon, because Jesmon can only play from hand, and Savior Hook gets to play from drop. So whichever one comes out first is the one that he is choosing to use. Savior Hook can also play from hand, but when he plays from drop, I know it's Savior Hook first. So we're just gonna wait to see what his next card is here. And you see me hovering over that Omni X because I take a moment to realize and pause and say that, yeah, this is probably how I'm going to win the game next turn. Unfortunately for me, you guys see he does have the Sistermon Blanc Awakened here, and that's a little bit unfortunate because I am a little ways off lethal here. But he actually didn't go into it. He went into the Sistermon CL instead. And what this made it made it so that next turn I don't go to 5 and I don't get a free Megadeth. But if he had played the Sistermon Blanc Awakened here, I believe I still would have had the game with the Omni X play. But he played a blocker as well with the Omni X play. Here's why it mattered that he played the CL to choke me to 3 and then not letting me give 5, because if I shove X Antibody into the source and I evo into the Omnimon X, I can evo for 5, not pass turn, bot deck the Jesmon, then Omni X's effect to trash the security, and then I get to swing it because there's no blockers on the field. But here I do choose to swing with the Magna into security, and I believe that he does choose to block here. Not wanting to get a security any lower, and then I just choose to Megadeth him and choke him to 1. And I did this consciously knowing that if he played another sister, that he wasn't going to be able to go into a Chimeramon, or if he evoed the rookie in the raising, if he pushed out and evoed the rookie, he also wasn't going to be able to go into a Chimeramon here. So I did this with good faith and confidence that I wasn't going to eat total crap next turn. So here we are. So just taking the time to think about his plays, because it's not a stressful situation, but it is game 2. You're a little bit of ways. You're basically one turn away from winning. But the choke here really matters, and that's the biggest thing about Jesmon, is that if it doesn't get his board established in time and it gets choked, then you run into a little bit of issues. Here he does go for the Blanc Awaken and sets me to 5 memory. What doesn't matter, the 5 memory doesn't matter here because he's at 3 security, so I can't do anything here. But I swing into security with the jamming Vmon, and I draw one off of the Upamon inheritable, and then I play the memory boost because I'm looking for I'm looking for a Lightramon or a Flamedramon here, because I need to evo for 2 over the Vmon, so I can unsuspend and get this second check-in, which I do get the Lightramon, thank God, and a nice put the Omni X into the source, and the X Antibody into the source, and I swing Magnamon X and Evo into Omni X for game, which is very nice here. Omni X proving to be a good card in that matchup. It doesn't come up often. I usually use it for removing bodies, but it did secure me that game. Moving on to game 3, my opponent did make me go first here. And now I get to Evo into the Jamming Digimon, the best rookie in the game, one of the best rookies in the game, and then I get to play the dual color searcher from my hand and give my opponent 3 memory. And this is the unfortunate part about going first for Jesmon, is that sometimes you're forced to give them upwards of 2 to 3 memory, and they can do a lot of stuff with that 2 to 3 memory. But yeah, I forced to play the on play here. And when are we getting that full art Bandai? I want my full art BT8 Vmon. It's the only Vmon that I believe currently right now does not have an alt art. If you don't count BT11. BT11 Vmon isn't out yet, so we don't count that. But here my opponent just playing down the Huckmon and revealing all of his possible targets. And he was into Bowhug for 2, which is fine. I swing with Jamming Digimon into security, and I do hit the red memory boost, which just makes me groan and cringe a little inside because that sucks. And then here, I hit the From Master to Disciple, and I'm like, oh, great. We do both forget that Master from to Disciple does have an inherited effect, and we realize it in just a moment, so that'll be fixed shortly, as my opponent remembers that, we both remember that it's a mandatory security trigger. So the card he drew was the Huckmon, and he reveals top 3. And then he adds a Savior Hug, which he does admit to me later is a little bit of a misplay. Because now he drew, we're in his breeding phase, he moves out, and he realized a little later here that if he had left the Savior Huck in the drop zone, he could have used this board here to Jogress into Chimeramon and keep the level 5 into the sources into rotation. Although, unfortunately, it doesn't really matter if the Savior Huck was in the drop zone because he doesn't have a level 6 here. And then I'm just reading the card here to make sure that it doesn't say Jesmon or Royal Knight in the trait for the search effect here. And then he chooses to, I believe, swing here. Yeah. Chooses to swing here, uses the effect of the Huckmon here to check top 6. And I believe he does have 2, so he's going to be checking top 10 here. And he's going to be adding 4 Sistermons, all the Sistermons in the world, but no Jesmon to play him with. I believe he did draw the Jesmon off of the Gurimon egg when he did swing. When he did swing, I believe I saw it there. And then he checks security, and it is Magna X, and Chimeramon is only a puny 8k because it has 2 colors, and it's not in a deck like Armor that can have 4 colors in their deck. So yeah. He plays a Sistermon Seal here to put me at 3. Doesn't want to give me any more than that. I Evo into the Vmon here and raising, and I go into the X Antibody. I play the X Antibody in the source, and I read Chimeramon just to make sure that it's a 2k DP reduce, and I believe I choose to swing into security here because my thought process here is if I swing with Magna's only 5k, I'm going to Armor Purge if he dies, and then the Vmon under will just retain the DP reduction anyways, and the body will die, but that doesn't happen, and Magna X just becomes a 9k body, which is fine. If it died, it would go into security anyways, and Magnamon would just be fine the next turn anyways. So now moving on to my opponent's turn, he was in the Solarmon, and then he pops a memory boost and plays a Sistermon CL here for 3 because it plays it for 4 and gains the memory, and he does Chimeramon again. And this is where another instance where the level 5 not being in the trash matters here, because now he doesn't have a level 5 to play a second Sistermon whenever he does choose to Evo into the Jesmon, which is a big it's a big difference. If he had because you saw him add 4 sisters, he just played one of them to be able to Jogress into Chimeramon. Now he Evos into Jesmon, he swings, he's only going to be able to play 1 sister, and that sister he kind of has to make it count. I believe he goes for the blocker Sistermon here. Yeah, he goes for the blocker Sistermon here because he does need it to not die, and he swings it to my Magna X. Just wanting to get rid of it immediately just because it can be a little bit of a problem. I use Elijahmon here to suspend the Sistermon Blanc, and I believe I swing into security. Yeah, I do swing into security here. The Magna does die, And here my spectator was watching and asked why didn't I armor purge, and the thing is that Magna had the minus 2k from the Chimeramon, and if I armor purge, the Vmon retains, like I explained later, the Vmon retains the DP reduction, and the Vmon would die anyways. Now I have two plays here, and it's the EX1 Vmon in the source, which matters a lot because I swing with Lydra here, it dies, I get to Evo into Magna and unsuspend. If I don't, you guys can see I have Awakening of the Golden Knight in my hand. So it's the same thing, I get to Evo into Magna for 3, unsuspend and retain the memory and keep it my turn. So I go for the swing here, the Lydramon doesn't die, and I get to Awakening of the Golden Knight into Magna, and a Magna's effect will unsuspend him, and I'll gain a memory from the Vmon, and that will be game. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll bring you guys more content soon. Bye!